This is Gregory Simmons, and today on April 17, 2016, I had the privilege of interviewing Henry Freeman, and we will be discussing the history of his life. So, well, where was you born?
I was born here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia? Grady Hospital?
Yes.
Okay. Then tell me a little bit about your upcoming. Earlier years.
Okay. Early years, I was born in Summer here on Conley Street. That's the early stage of my life. I was born there. Parents was Mary Freeman. Father was John Henry Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Were they from Atlanta too?
They were from, no, my dad was from Greenport, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And my mama from Crawfordville, Georgia.
Okay.
And
what schools did you go to?
I went to Craven when I was in elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, after I finished high school, I went to Washington High, which was Washington High, and they had Turner High with only 2 black schools then.
Mm-hmm.
After went to Washington High in the 8th grade. Okay, after first year, they be at Price High School. That was for blacks.
Mm-hmm.
I graduated from Price High, and then I finished high school. Then I used to work part-time at the drugstore, the Liberty Boy, when I was coming up. I used to throw paper. The Pittsburgh Courier was a black paper. That was the only black paper. We used to work at Yates and Milton drugstore when I was coming up. And after I reached 18, I went to work with my dad at night. He worked at a bank. I worked there cleaning up.
He cleaned up at the bank?
Yes.
Okay, I know.
Then after that, I finished high school. Then I went and got a couple jobs. I worked at the chicken house. I worked at Mead's Paper Company.
Mm-hmm.
Worked at Home Furniture. I used to deliver from. When I was coming up, I worked out to the dog house, out to the airport. I worked out there. Then one morning I got up and Ford was hiring. So I went there when I was 19, and I got a job at Ford Motor Company. That day they hired me, out of 9 people, I was the only black that they hired that day. They didn't like to hire people from Atlanta, so they didn't want to work. When I went there in 1964, when I went there, 2 years earlier than that, they had to integrate Ford. The blacks that worked there could only work on the cleaning up and doing the bathroom. Then they gave them opportunity to be on the line. When I went there, you had nothing but Ku Klux Klan in the plant. When they put me on the line, they used to drop things and scare you, try to scare you to keep you from working there. It was prejudice. And out there at Ford, when I went there, they had a white water fountain and a black water fountain. So they finally cut that out. Okay, I worked on the line, worked on the assembly line. I was welding. Then I had the welding job. Then another job came out as a relief man. As a relief man where I go around and relieve people. Learn their operation. I had to learn about 20 different operations. So after that, I kept that for about 3 or 4 years. Then I got to be a relief man, where I had 7 people that I had to relieve. Black and white. Okay. So I worked out there in the early 60s. That's when we were working 10 hours a day, 8 hours on set. When I got off, I was tired.
What, 7 days a week or 6 days a week?
6 days a week. 10 hours a day, that was required. 8 hours on Saturday. Well, I got sore from working out there because you had to work at a certain speed. So after that, I learned how to do that. Then I had a white fella out there. He told me he never thought he would see a day that a black man relieved him in Ford most times. They were just that precious. I think when Martin Luther King died, that when he got killed, most of all the blacks didn't come to work that day. They had to close the plant down because the blacks didn't come in.
Showcase how important they was.
Yeah, they was that important. So, what else?
So with his death, how did that affect work? At work, like the next day when I did come back to work.
Well, they couldn't send that to me because black, that was somebody important had died. So they had to go along with that. So they had to just let everybody come back to work.
So when did things change at Ford? I guess to get a little bit less prejudice with everything.
Probably in the 70s, got a little bit better. We got a union in there, and they bargained with Ford, and a lot of things Ford had to do that they didn't want to do. But it got better in the 70s. Then
started hiring more African Americans.
They started hiring more African Americans. We had I think 5 years after I went there, they put a night shift on, and most on the night shift, majority was black. So most of the time, if the black laid out, it affected the night shift. They had to ask some of the people in the day shift to stay open to work. That's how important the blacks were then.
So did the white flight affect the jobs there?
The white flag? Not really, because most of all the once you went to Ford, you had to learn what that particular man was doing. You had to learn his particular job. So most all the blacks that worked there had to learn the skill, learn how to run the job on their own. So that affected the white man.
So even with more integration, the white people, they didn't quit. They didn't.
No,
they
didn't
stayed
quit.
there.
No, they stayed there.
They stayed there.
Ford
Even though more black faces and everything.
Ford was a good paying job.
Yeah.
And you couldn't find no job no better than that. With the job and the money, you couldn't resist. Then see the union came in where they couldn't discriminate you. They had to pay the black man same thing as the white man would make. So that was the big thing. Okay.
So with the protests and everything that was happening in the 60s, and you said it was a whole bunch of Ku Klux Klan members that worked there for, how was that?
Oh,
the tension.
They used to drop stuff, stove stuff, and had one fella, he found out he had a white wife, and they went in his locker and set his clothes on fire and all that stuff. So they went through a lot of racism there. But he ended up, I think the guy finally quit. Because he got tired of him harassing him. So they like that. But it's something to think about. Then
Did you have any experience with going to some of the preachings of Dr. Martin Luther King, Sr. or Jr.?
No.
In Atlanta?
No, not.
We went together.
Well, me and my wife went together, so she had told most of the thing that we did together. We mostly were together because we got married at an early age.
How old was you got married?
We was 18.
18. In what year?
What was it?
1959.
1959 we got married.
So we've been married 57 years.
Yeah, we were married 57 years. And had 2 daughters, Deborah, Tanya, and Micah. Micah came later.
Look at my year, he was born in the 70s.
Yeah, he's in the 70s.
So definitely seeing those role models like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and all these in the 60s and stuff. How was raising Uncle Mike different compared to just different in how did they those people in the '60s affect how you would raise them, especially knowing how things were changing in history.
No, most of the time it was rough, but most of the time Gene stayed at home and kept them, and I went to work and all that, and I can't really record some of the things. I can't remember right offhand.
Yeah.
But it affected us because we stayed. When we first got married, we stayed with my mama for a year. Then we moved out. And we moved 3 times. Did we 3 times, Jenny?
Yeah.
3 times we moved. Then we finally moved on Beecher Street. And then we moved out. That was the last house we moved out.
Before we came
here. And Micah, Tanya, and Deborah, I can't remember way back sometime on those things.
Yeah.
What all happened to I have to kind of go.
Yeah, he was busy at the Ford plant 6 days a week.
We sheltered the children
Yeah.
from a lot of the things. We tried to move in a better area for each one of them, but we always had 2 cars. So if they didn't ride the bus, I took them to school. So they didn't have to get on the bus to go anywhere. And even today, my kids have never did a whole lot of bus until they start working as adults. We always took them. I would take them to school, or the bus came down the street.
Did you have any aspirations, like, once you finish high school, to go to college or anything, or any type of
No, I really
school?
did not. After I finished high school, I decided to find me a full-time job. So when I finished high school, I think I worked at the Board of Education as a janitor for about 4 or 5 years. Then one morning I got up and Ford was hiring, and I decided to go out there and got on out there.
How you hear about Ford hiring? Was it like post, or somebody just told you Ford was
Somebody told me they was hiring that morning. I just went out there and got on. We're lucky enough to get up.
Yeah. So you was the only black person out of what, 9?
Out of
9 hires.
9 white was out of the 9 hired, I was the only black got hired that day.
How many? You remember when you went to the interview? Did you see a lot of black people?
Not really.
Was it just like you at the interview at the time?
Yeah,
so you didn't see anybody?
I was the only one.
So you didn't see any other candidates or nothing like that?
No.
Okay.
They were strictly behind blacks from Atlanta. So we went out and stayed out all night, couldn't come to work the next day. That was their excuse.
Yeah, okay.
And they didn't have any blacks out there.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I was gonna say, yeah, walking it like, so you got an interview in the factory.
Yeah, I got it. They hired me to go.
But just walking in the factory, you didn't see any other black,
The only one you saw like maybe in the restroom cleaning up or something like that.
So how did you and Grandma meet?
Oh, we met through a friend. We went on a date one.
It wasn't a friend. It was my cousin.
It was her cousin.
We double dated.
We were double dating with her cousin. And Jean got in the car. I was driving. And then they had another friend named Harry. He was going with a cousin of hers. So the other friend, we had another guy with Jean got in the back with him. Then her cousin told her, well, you supposed to be up here with him.
She whispered after, and then they put the guy out the car.
Then we put him out the car, then we went on a date.
I didn't know which one I was supposed to date.
And that's how we got married, got started.
That's a fun part.
Yeah.
She's now a minister. Cousin Jardine. You remember her?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So what set Grandma apart? Yeah, why you choose Grandma? What set her apart?
Her apart?
Yeah, what set her apart? What made her different?
Okay.
You to continue to pursue her?
Yeah, I had another friend, but I ended up choosing Gene over the other one.
Mm.
So after that, we got together, went out on several dates, and got together to know one another, and finally, one day we got married.
How long was it until y'all got married at the first meeting?
It was about 2 or 3 years, wasn't it, Gene? Yeah.
About 2 years.
Mm.
About 2 years.
About 2 years we went together.
So I know when cause Uncle Mike worked at Ford too. How did you prepare him to work at Ford? I know it was probably with like the 80s, early 90s when he got the job.
Well, they was hiring one day and said they used to wouldn't hire for family members.
Mm-hmm.
They say if one family member be out for something, the other family member would be out too.
Yeah.
So long time they wouldn't hire family members.
Mm-hmm.
Then one time it came up that I think the union got up where they had to hire family members.
Mm-hmm.
And they said they would hire one member out the family. So I gave Michael the application. He went out there and he got on.
You told him how it used to be?
Yeah, I told him how it used to be. But when he came, it was much better.
Yeah.
Things had changed.
After the union got initiated,
yeah. Well, the union got in and it's helped out a lot of things because Ford wouldn't have changed a lot of things if the union hadn't got there.
Since Grandma's so into the genealogy, has she researched your side more, and like what you learned from like her side of her research?
Well, I learned more from her side.
More on her side and your side.
She tried to get me to go along and do my side of the family. I told her I wasn't really interested in Jenny.
Yeah, like.
So what happened?
So what?
What happened now?
Well, I still not really.
No, what happened now though?
What?
He has a cousin that lives in Cincinnati. He knows a lot, so he and I are working together.
Yeah,
okay.
He knows more about the family than I do.
Okay. Up in Cincinnati.
He's the son of my mother brother, and he's son of him. And he trying to learn more about our side of the family. And Jean, what all she know, she explained to him what all she know about the family.
You got a big family.
Yeah, I got a lot. I got a big family, but all I told I wanted to know was about my dad and mama, and my son and daughter, and that was all. That was all I wanted to know.
Yeah.
I wasn't interested in the rest of it.
How many brothers and sisters you have?
I have 2 sisters and 1 brother. I'm the oldest of the family.
What was unique about your mother and your dad?
Well, my dad, he worked. My dad had died.
No, about the marriage.
Married.
Uh-huh.
They married sisters and brothers.
Yeah. His dad's sister married his mother brother.
Oh, okay.
And my dad had worked at Southern Frame Bed. That's where they made mattress. He worked there until he died. My dad had died and when he was 42 years old. He had a brain tumor, so he died from that. Then my mama worked there at an early age until she retired from there. My mama lived to get in her 80s. So she worked Southern Frame Bed, then she came home.
And her 2 brothers?
Her 2 brothers, most of the family worked at Southern Frame Bed.
Where they made mattress. And he had some cousins to work there.
Yeah, then they tried to get me to work there, but I couldn't do that work.
He worked 1 week.
To make the mattresses, he couldn't do it.
Yeah. He said it was too hard.
Harder than Ford?
I
said harder.
Ford was hard to work.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of days I wanted to quit. Because out there you had to work at a certain speed. Wherever that car going, it never stopped. So you had to work and do anything you had in so many feet. Because you run into the next person you couldn't do. And after Ford, they didn't just let you just do a job. They had a man to come around and time you and see how long it would take you to do that particular job. So I had a cousin that worked out there, he never could get the hang of it, and they laid him off about 3 or 4 times because he couldn't run the job. But we used to have a lot of people that come there, black. They couldn't run those jobs, and they have lunchtime, or they go to the bathroom and they would leave.
Yeah.
They were just that hard. It wasn't no easy work.
Yeah.
You had to work for that money. I was tired of heap of days. I can't.
Yeah. Factory and warehouse job.
Yeah, there's nothing to play with. So I made my 30 year. When I retired, I was 55 years old. And the lady told me in the office, said, well, Mr. Freeman, you don't have to retire. It's up to you. You can stay as long as you want to. So I've had 30 years in September. So I worked to Christmas, December, and I retired. They told me I'd go out, stay out a month, come back if I want to. When I got that last check, not to cash it, I could always come back.
Yeah.
Then the one fella told me, one of the supervisors, so, well, Freeman, why would you go home? You just 55. So you need to, then another co-worker, he was black. He said, well, you need to go on there and sell it, brother, and get in it. Because
The casket.
yeah, because you ain't got nothing to do at home. You gonna die.
Yeah.
Then you got something to do. So I told him no. Then the supervisor said, well, Freeman, why are you quitting? You ain't doing nothing relieving 7 people every day. Why would you want to talk? But I had a part-time job cleaning up.
You had business.
I had a cleaning business. And I worked
They didn't know that.
I didn't know that. So I worked there for those people 35 years, part-time.
The whole time you was doing floors?
Yeah, he worked there.
And,
That's why I said that the kids were sheltered.
They were sharing.
They had more than a lot of kids had. Because I remember one of Michael Freeman coming over here, and Michael had the VCR and the TV and all that stuff up in his room, and his friend told him, his name was Demetrius, Michael, you got all of this? Because kids never had been over to the house. They always played outside. And Michael had more things than kid. He had the motorcycle, the go-kart, and then he got the car and all of that. A lot of kids didn't have that. But Henry always worked 2 jobs. And the kids, they never wanted for anything. So it was a different lifestyle.
So how was the cleaning business? Tell me
Oh,
about the
cleaning.
Yeah, tell me more about the cleaning business you had.
Okay, the cleaning business was all right. I was cleaning up on. Well, how I worked for a cleaning company. Then I was cleaning up this building, and the white guy there was working for he was in the Navy. His name was Ross. He was doing engineer company. They do building and stuff. He said, well, Freeman, why don't you come work? We're going to move out of that building into their own building. He said, why don't you come work for us? So me and he sat down, he drawed up a contract and sat down and proposed that if I clean the building up, this is what they would pay me a month. So I went to work for them. And each month they paid me by the month. So the guy that worked there kept the book for Ross. Finance. So he asked me one day, he said, Freeman, how did you get this job and you work for Ford? I said, I know Mr. Ross. Then Mr. Ross offered me a job in the company because Ford was laying off. And he said, well, you can come work for us. I said, no, I had a little time with Ford and I didn't want to leave. So I finally stayed there. White fella still, he didn't let, because I worked at Ford and came over there and cleaned up their building and they paid me that money too.
He knew how much
he
made it forward. He knew how much they were paying him. And he thought that was too much.
Too much for a black man to have. So worked on around, I stayed there until they sold that building to a Japanese firm. And they left me out the contract. So the firm hired me for 2 years. Then I had to go get business license. janitorial insurance and all that. But when I worked for Ross, I didn't have to do all that.
Yeah.
Underbidded him.
They underbid me, and then they wanted me out of there because they were paying me too much money being a black man. So they finally got me, and they had a Christmas party one year down to the dorm, and they invited me down there, and I wasn't gonna go. Gene talked me into going down there. I went down there for the 35 years, and they gave me that plaque up there. Right
Up
there.
on the wall.
That one there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of the top office people there got up and spoke very highly of him in all the years that he had worked for them. And they were very appreciative. But it was somebody in that company, I think, with the finance people, they underbidded him. He lost their business.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too many people can say they had that business and working for it at the same time.
Yeah.
I said, not too many people can say that working at Ford at the same time as having your own business.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I retired, because I had my own business.
He never told people.
Yeah.
I never told people. You know, people back then was jealous, especially white people. They didn't want you to have this and have that. They figured you had this too much, you were doing too much.
As a black person.
Yeah.
So,
And whenever he bought a car, I always had the new car at home with me. He drove the old car. So they never
Yeah.
they never knew that.
so you know, coming up then, it was prejudice.
Did you ever live anywhere else besides Atlanta? Or you was
My home is here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
My dad tried to get us to move to Chicago,
Yeah.
and we were going to buy a house together, but I wanted to live in the suburbs. But from living up there, I knew how bad the gangs were in the community where we lived on the south side. I didn't want to expose Michael to that.
Yeah.
Because Michael was I think it was 9 years, 10 years between him and Deborah, 7 years between he and Tanya. And they would have been in college or whatever like that, and he would have been there. And I just felt, you either going to be a part of the gang or you're going to be dead or something like that. And they were kind of rough up there, so we never did move. We had almost were coming back to ask for a transfer up there to one of the Ford plants. And we decided not to do it. So I'm glad we just stayed
See,
there.
I had opportunity, but I wanted to go to another plant. I couldn't transfer.
And he wouldn't lose his seniority.
Yeah. Okay. Just working with Ford and now seeing how Ford is now, but like I guess with the cars and the company and stuff.
Yeah.
How have you seen things change or progress? Just in general.
Oh, well, things have changed a lot.
Outsourcing.
Outsourcing. Most of the Ford plants, when I went to Ford, they had 20 plants. 20 plants to operate. When I got ready to retire, they told me in front that they wouldn't have but 11 plants in the United States. Now, the plants has changed. They say they don't need but 3 plants.
Yeah.
Because the plants now, whatever car's selling, they can switch over and run that particular car. Then the plant I was working in, they had workers. They had about 3,000 people working at the Ford. And they said when they got through cutting back, they would only need 1,200 people. And that would be for both shifts. They had 2 shifts. They were intended to cut. They brought robots in there. Robot took the place of man. Yeah. My body shop I worked in, when they got through, it was 95% robot and the other 5% men. That's the way it went. Every year they cut out jobs. They said that plant had to be just as efficient as the Japanese plant. Even more sophisticated. Then after what is it, 2000, when Michael got laid off?
Oh, I forgot.
5 years. No, 5 years back. Michael stayed there 10 years. Then they decided to shut that plant down. And they asked them why. Because they said they didn't need the plant because we didn't have a stamping plant there. We had to have a stamping plant there.
What is a stamping plant?
Stamping plant is where they do the parts for the car. So they said first they were going to close down Chicago plant. Then they changed their mind and they closed the Atlanta plant. we supposed to be the most efficient plant they had,
Yeah.
but they closed it down. So after they closed it down, they kept the plant open for a year, and everybody in there had they kept so many people in there because they couldn't actually close the plant till the contract ran.
It was on the rent and everything. Yeah. Okay.
So all the others that was able could take a retirement,
Mm-hmm.
like take a lump sum. Michael, my son, was one of those that took a lump sum, which I tried to get him to find another job and put the money in the bank.
Yeah.
But he decided to work a year.
Not work a year.
Not work a year and sit down.
Sound like Hawaii.
So they offered them $100,000 a year. $100,000 he got for retirement.
Yeah.
When they got through taking out tax, he had half of that.
Yeah.
One good thing about it, if you want to, after Henry retired, the black men formed a retirement club. They call it Timex. They meet once a month. And those are all men that worked and retired from Ford. And each year it become less and less. And I remember, I think they're going to have a banquet this year.
Yeah.
But last time I went to, like 5 of them had died. So because everybody don't come to the meeting. But that's another source of history.
Yeah.
From there, you could, go with Henry to one of the meeting and just tell him what you want to do. And it might be somebody else. Each one of the person get some of those retired men. Because everybody didn't live in Atlanta. Some of those men lived in Griffin, Georgia. And I remember Henry telling me it was 2 men or 4 men that lived in South Carolina that drove here every day to the Ford plant and drove back home every day. And you know, what is it, 2 hours to go over there? So it probably would take another hour to get to South Carolina.
I think they used to leave home at 3 o'clock to get there. We had to start up at 6.
Yeah.
The 9 started up at 6.
They did it every
They
day.
all of them there just to go to work every
Yeah,
day.
because of the money.
Cost of the money and job.
Yeah.
That's the way it had to be. So I seen a lot change since then. And since they told it, my plant down, they built a
plant.
Yeah.
yeah.
And changed the street name and all. Mr. Leroy on the next street, he retired from Ford.
Okay.
That's another source.
Yeah, he stayed there till the plant closed, till they just shut the plant down completely. But see, I went out.
So he did like maybe 40 or 50 years then?
Huh?
He did like 40 or 50 years then?
Leroy, how many years he
He
did?
should have did about 40 years. 40-some years.
Yeah, because he was older than you, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's about 5 years older than me.
Okay. Then was your mother and your father, they was born in Georgia too.
Yeah.
In Georgia.
No, they were born in Georgia, but different county.
Different counties.
Yeah.
So as far as like when they moved to Atlanta, when you moved to Atlanta, was any mention of like the 1906 race riots that occurred? Or did they even talk about that at all?
No, they really didn't
talk about it.
I remember the sit-ins we had downtown, the lunch counties and all that.
Yeah.
But no, they didn't really mention, not to me.
They didn't talk about those things that was ugly with the children. I learned more with my going through genealogy and then doing research. And I know on my mother's side, most of them was started out at Abbeville, South Carolina. And I went to a conference, a genealogy conference there one year. And I bought a book on Abbeville so I get better understanding. Then I started researching. And I was wondering why did the family leave Abbeville and come on over in South Carolina. Well, they had a riot there too. And they
just wanted land. It was everywhere across the nation.
There you go.
Yeah, they used to have riots here because certain areas white was moved in and they boycotted the street, even blocked off the street, keeping black from moving in the neighborhood. Then a lot of the neighborhoods you moved in, if a black man moved in, the white moved out. The same as we out here. When we moved in, like Gene reported earlier, it was all white. Then time 1 or 2 black moving, they white would move out. The only neighbor we really had here that states that he died was white neighbor across from us and
Right in front
front
of
of
us.
us.
Mm.
He stayed there till he
Till he
died.
died.
Uh-huh.
And you know, Henry lived in Pittsburgh, and we would go visit his mother and uncle them on Sunday. So if we came back after 11 o'clock, we would come across Lee Street over to Main Street to get over in here in the black area. And if you came through East Point after 11 o'clock, they always stop you next to where we going.
Mm.
And that was a shortcut.
Yeah.
But then back then, they had most of white cops,
Yeah.
Mm.
and they had a few blacks. Then the black one couldn't arrest the white people.
They had to detain them and
To
call the
the
white.
man. That's how. For now, the things have changed.
Mm.
Black man can arrest the white man, but back then, no.
Couldn't even do that.
That's a big change there.
Mm.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, see, that wasn't that hard.